encourage everyone to scan your body once in a while whenever you're feeling a very deep emotion so that you can start to recognize where your emotions are located.
It's Yuntaku time with Akko and Tamo.
What does Yuntaku mean? It's an Okinawan word from the islands of Okinawa, which means chit-chat. We want to invite you to our kitchen table and include you in our chit-chat to explore new ways of thinking, to welcome different perspectives,
And we want to share ideas on how to love yourself, love your partner, and shower your children with love.
This is episode 19.
And the topic of the day is giving birth without an epidural and pain management with meditation. Before we get started, please take a quick moment to subscribe to our show.
And for our recent happenings,
Drum roll, please. We're pregnant!
we are expecting our second child.
Yes. And we are about 27 weeks. So that is reaching our end of the second trimester, going into our third trimester. So we're super excited to welcome this miracle into this world very soon. Enjoying this pregnancy. It's very different from my first one. I have to say with our daughter, I felt like it was a lot easier on my body. Right now, I feel pretty heavy. And yes, I have to take care of our daughter. So, I'm having to constantly move around, run around, carry her when she asks.
Which is often.
Yeah, which is often. I really try to be mindful of my body and try to be tactful as far as how to maneuver her. So I would probably sit on the couch or something and try to carry her and see if that's satisfying, but usually not the case. She just likes to be carried when we're standing up. So yeah. I try to find ways to carry her in a less stressful way for my body. And so we're having our second child. We're very excited. We don't know what the gender is going to be.
Just like with the first.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so it was super exciting when we waited until the birth. Mm-hmm. So it was very exciting. And so we just thought we'd experience the same type of ecstasy. So yeah.
It was funny. I still remember when we found out it was our daughter. The doctor had asked me, "Hey, did you see what the gender was?" And I'm like, "Yep, doc, I saw it. I'm good." And then I shared the good news with Akko, and it was really fun.
Yeah, because one of our things was that Tamo let me know what the gender is going to be. Mm-hmm. So that's what that was. It was really exciting. And so we'll see what's in store for us.
Yeah. And with subsequent podcasts, we'll share more as things progress. So, and maybe we can share some more pregnant couple tips with you and share more information as we go along. So look forward to that.
Even our birthing story, because it was definitely
unusual.
Yes, it was an unusual.
Time.
Yeah, it was a difficult, unusual birth. So I would definitely love to share that story with you.
Definitely. Great. And so you said the topic of the day was giving birth without an epidural, pain management with meditation. So get us started.
Yeah. So I just want to get started with meditation. How would you define meditation, Tamo?
Yeah, I think even with meditation, there are quite a few levels of understanding how, just like in previous podcasts, we've talked about how we have unconscious incompetence to, there's levels of understanding, right?
Yeah.
And meditation is similar, where in the beginning, meditation is touted as, okay, you can have stress relief and maybe it will help you relax. So that means it can help control blood pressure and things like that. Mm-hmm. And then as you go into meditation more and more, you see that you're able to see what your mind is doing a little bit more. And you're able to understand, the mind has the mind of its own. And a lot of times I'm not in control of that. And you become a watcher of your mind. And then if you continue this, it can lead you to a path of enlightenment, which is such a big topic in itself. So just like with anything else, meditation has different levels of benefits, and as you go deeper, the deeper you can understand what meditation is. But like you mentioned, this particular use, it's definitely letting go and relaxing the body.
Yeah, so before leading up to childbirth, we meditated daily. And I guess one jumpstart of that was because we actually did a Vipassana course when I was 18 weeks pregnant. And so Vipassana is a silent meditation retreat where you are meditating. I think we mentioned in previous podcasts, we meditate for about 10 hours a day for 11 days straight. And so you wake up 4:30 in the morning, you meditate for 2 hours, then you take a little bit of a break, a breakfast break, and then you meditate and you take your lunch, you meditate. So you're practically meditating the whole entire day, and you cannot talk to anyone. And that's why it's called silent meditation, because you can't see anyone, you can't talk to anyone. You're with yourself. And so you focus on yourself and meditating.
So you're continually going in within and really exploring and learning more and more about yourself. And yeah, once that retreat starts, you stop speaking. You don't speak to anyone. You don't even make eye contact with people there. It is quite intense, and I'm surprised that we were able to get through it. Not everyone does, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's not easy because you're sitting there. At least for some people do have chairs that they bring, but we're just sitting on the ground pretty much on a cushion.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can dive deeper, but just for the focus of this podcast, we're just going to focus on childbirth. And so definitely a future podcast on our experience with Vipassana, because it was different for both of us.
Definitely one of the most impactful and beneficial things that we've done in our lives.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think this is by far the best thing that we've ever done or I've ever done. And thank you for encouraging me to do it.
And so, yeah, we both went together. And of course, going together doesn't mean we get to sit and meditate together. It's separated.
Yes.
But we were there together at the same time. And at first, going into it, we were quite scared.
Yeah,
but,
I was well, I don't know about terrified, but I was very anxious that I won't be able to talk to Tamo, or I won't even be right next to him, or I won't be able to see him. And I was like, whoa, like what?
Yeah.
So, and being that I'm a very physical person,
no hugs,
no, nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is going to be hard.
Yeah.
But I overcame that and I finished it.
Yeah. And so after the Vipassana meditation retreat, we came back and continued our meditation in the mornings.
Yeah. So we would meditate for an hour before getting started with the day, and it really helped us. And this is before our daughter was born, so it was much easier to meditate for 1 hour. Now it's kind of impossible unless we take turns.
Right. It's
Yeah.
pretty difficult.
Yeah. So during my labor, how I used meditation was whenever a contraction comes up, I would meditate through the pain. So in Vipassana, what they teach is if a pain or like a pain sensation comes up, what you do is you just keep watching it. You keep watching the pain, and then you watch it until it starts to lessen, eventually dissipates. And so believe it or not, I mean, I've done this and it actually works. I've tried this at Vipassana, at the retreat, and it was working. And so with childbirth, with contractions, it's much harder because the pain is much more intense. But if you really just watch the pain and not fight the pain, it really helps with getting through the pain. So I would say, I mean, it was very hard still. I would say maybe 30% of the time, I was able to really successfully do this where I would watch the pain. And I mean, this is like literally about to give birth type of pain. And I would really watch the pain, and honestly it would disappear or dissipate faster when I just watched the pain, as opposed to when I would fight the pain. Because when I would fight the pain, I would just feel every sensation of the pain, and then it would last a lot longer. And it was just really interesting. And you would think, okay, I'm going to try to do it again, but it is very hard. I'm not going to lie. It's not the easiest thing, but when you're focused and when you're determined, it's possible.
And as a partner, so when Akko is giving birth, as a partner, I'm there to support her. And meditation, since we're bombarded with daily life, which is, your phones, all these emails that you have to respond to, all these notifications popping up, our focus is not super strong as it could be, right? And so as a partner, what I did was to remind her to get back into the zone, right? Because it's very easy to get distracted with the pain or whatever that's happening during childbirth. So it's, you want to gently say for her to come back to the focus and to the meditation. And for us, we like to use the word anicca, which was taught to us in Vipassana, is kind of the impermanence of anything in life, right? From pain to whatever it is, everything is impermanent. So that's something that we said to each other to kind of bring each other back to the present moment so she can focus.
Exactly. Because, you can lose yourself in that pain.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so Tamo had to be relaxed as well, because if he's anxious, like that energy will be transferred onto me.
Yeah.
So another key to our successful epiduralist childbirth was the fact that he was calm and he was just really attentive to me.
Mm-hmm. And so that's one of the reasons that we're talking about this today. On our podcast, we really want to focus on relationships, committed relationships with someone that you love and you're in it for the long haul with. And this is part of it, right? So when we went into childbirth, we did it together. It was teamwork.
Yeah,
and
it was.
As much as Akko is focused on what she's doing, I'm there to support her 100%. And like she mentioned, I had to stay calm myself and then do everything else that she needed me to do outside of her focusing on giving birth. And so, I have a few questions.
Yeah.
Maybe you can answer those. So when you were watching the pain, were you also relaxing your body?
Yes, I was also relaxing my body, because if it's tense, then you're kind of giving into the pain again. So I would try to relax it as much as possible, take deep breaths, and just kind of breathe through the pain.
And I can imagine how tough that is, because when something hurts, you tend to contract, right? Like it's like ouch. So you tighten up your muscles, and that kind of pain, you're probably tensing every single centimeter.
Yeah. It's kind of like going to a masseuse and they're like pressing really hard because they're trying to work on this knot, and the counterintuitive thing is that you have to relax. Because the first thing you do is, this tense hurts, and then you just tense up, but you just really have to relax the best you can so that you can release that knot, and the outcome would be far greater. So that's what you have to do. And then I don't know if I can compare it to childbirth, but that's kind of like the concept.
That's interesting. So it seems like, you were letting go, I guess, from the tension, not just from your mind, but your body, both together.
Both,
right?
yeah. Both, absolutely both together.
Yeah.
So, and then you're breathing through this. You're just taking deep breaths. During this time, we had meditation music. So Tama was great about making sure the meditation music was on, and he helped me as much as possible to help me relax. We did a lot of aromatherapy where I would smell certain scents.
Right.
So citrus is really good for relaxation. Lavender is really good for relaxation. So those two scents.
Yeah. So I believe we brought 3. Peppermint was the third one.
Yeah,
and
we did.
We cycled it. You're like, okay, this is good for now. Give me this or whatnot. And I think I made a combo of citrus and peppermint. I think that was pretty nice.
It was nice. It was nice. So that, and then really what topped it, like a cherry on top, was a wet towel on my face. Like that,
it was a cool towel.
Yeah, it just kind of did the magic. Like it helped me relax even more so. And so I was able to rest a little bit.
Yeah.
And you need to rest whenever you get the chance. Both of you guys have to.
Right.
Yeah.
So going back to a little bit more of the meditation, maybe if you can share some tips on this Vipassana meditation. And if you're listening to this podcast, you're already awesome. And we highly recommend Vipassana if you haven't done it. They do have, I think, 3-day course.
I think they do. They have a shorter
retreats.
course.
Yeah. But, do the 10-day one.
Yeah, 10, 11. I think it's 10 days, but it's really 11 days.
It's called, I believe, 10 days. But go for it. And it's not easy. No phone, nothing.
Yeah,
right?
nothing.
It's just
no journaling.
Nothing. Yeah, you can't even have that.
Nothing.
It's just you, a few pieces of clothes, sandals or shoes if you need that, and then of course your
meditation.
So yeah, definitely. But we do recommend it. It will be a catalyst to more increased self-growth, and this is something that you can't really put a price on.
Yeah, absolutely not. So if you have a chance to go, we highly recommend it.
Yeah. Definitely. So before giving childbirth, you mentioned that, we were meditating together. Yes, we were. What did that meditation look like? So what did you do?
So every morning we would meditate, sit. At first, I would focus on my breath just to get me started and just to get that focus started. And any thoughts that came through, I would just see it and just welcome it, let it go on its path. So I would take deep breaths. And then what I would do is I would scan my body. So that's what they teach in Vipassana. You scan your body.
And that's what Vipassana is. It's the body scan.
So what you do is from head to toe, you scan every part of your body. And you have your own system. You get to get accustomed to your own system. And what I would do is start from my top of my head, scan it down through my shoulders, and went down symmetrically. I went down my shoulders, then my arms, then I went back up, and then I just went to the core of my body, and then I would just scan it down all the way down to your legs, and then come back up and down, like literally just
Continually
up and down. And what you're trying to do at this time is you're trying to see if you can find any sensation. And what we mean by sensation is any pain or any itch or any tingliness, any sensation that you feel, you see it and you just keep watching it. And then you'll see that every single time you're scanning your body and you're seeing that sensation eventually disappears. And that's kind of what my meditation was. So you're just focusing and you're practicing how to watch all these sensations. And so for childbirth, I did the same thing. The sensation was a pain, the contraction. So what you do is you watch it, you just keep scanning it, you just watch it, and then eventually it'll go away. So that's what I've done, and that's what really helped me. And I'm glad I got that practice months before. Because had I not had that, I don't know if I would have been that successful as far as not getting the epidural. I don't know if I would have given in. I don't know, because it didn't happen that way. So I'm not really sure. But the thought didn't even cross my mind to even get an epidural.
And I think that's the point, right? One thing that we know for sure is it would have been more difficult.
Yeah, definitely.
Without meditation.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tamo could have been a little more like scattered and anxious had he not been meditating. So it's a win-win situation for both.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine, just because, even imagining, like knowing that you're in pain, I'm sure my mind would have been even more scattered, and just maybe I would have felt helpless. Right? But we had a much better handle on the mind and our body because of the meditation we've been doing.
And we were able to focus on what we needed to focus on.
Right. What was important, and then helping each other, keeping that focus.
Exactly.
So we hope that this story of childbirth and meditation gives you a little insight on what meditation can do. I mean, meditation is such a broad topic. It's very far from just sitting there with your eyes closed in a certain posture. Yes, that is part of it. And in the beginning, it'll look like that. But more and more, meditation does transform into something different, especially if you practice it for many, many years like we have. I think I've been practicing for 6 years now. And just now, I feel like, okay, I'm gonna really push my meditation more, pushing it so that I can meditate about 2 hours a day. That would be really nice. So it's not easy with a toddler, and I want to support you as much as I can. So of course the scheduling, we work that out, but it's that beneficial for life. So for the question of the day, do you meditate? If so, what kind of meditation do you do? And if you have any questions regarding meditation for us, please let us know. We'd love to chime in.
Yeah, so please come and say hi on our new website by going to yuntakutime.com.
That's YUNTAKU, yuntakutime.com.
All right. Thank you for listening.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.